מודי רוזנפלד הוא אחד הקומיקאים היהודים המוכרים היום בארצות הברית. הוא הומו מוצהר, יהודי, אורתודוקס. הוא מופיע בכל רחבי ארצות הברית, גם בלא מעט ערים באירופה. הסרטונים שלו ברשתות חברתיות גוררים מאות אלפי צפיות, ובעבר הוא גם נבחר לאחד הקומיקאים המבטיחים של ניו יורק. כשהמלחמה פרצה, הוא היה כאן בישראל. מאז הוא כבר חזר הביתה, ועכשיו, 3 חודשים אחרי, הוא מתבדח על המלחמה, וגם על האנטישמיות שהרים הראש בארצות הברית. הנה כמה דוגמאות.
I have friends going to Israel to hug soldiers when they come back. I have people I know that my co-host in my podcast, she's sending helmets and boots. Everyone's doing what they can. I was doing a show like this and someone yelled out to me, if Israel needed you to fight in the war, would you fight in the war? I said, if Israel's looking for me, they've lost the war.
Anti-Semitism, we have to discuss this. That's hating Jews. Now, he doesn't know. Anti-Semitism is hating Jews more than you're allowed.
אני צריך להסביר. עכשיו, מודי היה רוצה להופיע בפני חיילים בחזית. אז רגע לפני שהוא תופס מטוס ועולה על מדים, אולי תפסנו אותו לשיחה על המלחמה, על יהדות, אפילו על ברונו מרס. הנה.
שלום, שלום.
So being a Jewish comedian is probably not easy these days, but before we dive into that, you were actually here in Israel on October 7th.
I had shows all over Israel, in 6 shows sold out in theaters that I'd never been to in Israel. They were gorgeous. Yerushalayim, Herzliya, Tel Aviv, gorgeous theaters. We had an amazing time. And then we had Friday night dinner. We were at the Satai Hotel B'Yafo, and then we woke up to a war. We were scheduled to fly out that day. Thank God the flight took off. We were on the flight to go from Tel Aviv to Paris for 4 shows, right when the war broke out. And luckily, we were the last flight that got out to out of Israel.
Were you scared?
It was 6 a.m. and we were in bed. And I turned to my husband and he asked, "What should we do?" I said, "I don't know." It was right when my sleeping pills were kicking in. So I'm staying in bed. And so, but then at 10:30 we went down for breakfast and we began to realize that something's going on. At 12:30 we saw them taking Bruno Mars. I don't know if you remember, but Bruno Mars had concerts in Tel Aviv and in Israel, and they took him at 12:30. They took him out of the hotel. So I told my husband, thank God they got him out of the hotel. And he said, why? I said, listen, if a bomb hits this hotel and kills me and Bruno Mars, I would get 0 press. No one would write about me.
Tell me something. Has it been harder to make jokes since October 7th?
It's been more purposeful. I can say that. You land. Since the war, I've been in Frankfurt, Düsseldorf, Berlin, Amsterdam, Vienna, Brussels. We call this tour the reparations tour. But it's just to be with these audiences that are so scared because they're living in a place where the Muslim population is so strong.
Yeah.
And the protests are insane. One of our shows was canceled because there was a protest right outside in Paris. But in America, we've been doing shows. And again, it unites the Jewish people and their allies. It's not just Jewish people. It's like people that they are just friends of my comedy or friends of my fans. And they come to the shows and we laugh together. At the end, I mentioned the war because I really want to give them an hour just to not be in the war. It's a really important thing. And then at the end, we sing Hatikva and we unite again for another reason, not for laughter, for the fact that we all have our hearts in Israel.
Now, you're Jewish, you're gay, What do you think of the notion of gays for Palestine? We see this sometimes in pro-Palestinian protests in the USA. What do you think of that?
It is a phenomenon that I cannot even grasp my head around. People that we know, that people we go dancing with, people that are what we thought were, I don't want to say intellectual, but intelligent, and had a way to format what's happening in the world. It's mind-boggling. Luckily, again, look for the humor. My favorite videos are when the actual Palestinians go into the gay protests and start to scream at them and say, don't march for us, don't yell for us, you should all die, we hate you. And they're still sitting there, lesbians for Palestine, lesbians for Palestine, and they're just spitting on them. And it's so, absolutely, it shows you how the world has zero understanding of what's happening in Israel.
Now, we see the rise in anti-Semitism in the U.S. these past few months. How do you see this phenomenon?
You know where you see it? We were sitting in Vienna, and I had a show in Vienna, and we're sitting in the lobby of the hotel having a coffee, and we saw a protest go by. Flags, Palestinian flags, screaming and yelling, and I never saw that up front. It's frightening. I saw it in Paris, where the theater I was performing at, literally across the street was the Square of the Republic, a very famous square, and it was taken over by pro-Palestinian marchers, and they had to make a wall of policemen around them, and they shot tear gas because it wasn't a legalized march, and my show was canceled because of it. So yes, now I feel it, I see it, and it's not pro-Palestinian, it's just Jewish hatred. They have no idea what Palestine is, they have no idea what Gaza is. They just, hey, we have a reason to yell, we hate Jews, and it's just covered under pro-Palestine, and that's what it is. They have no idea what's happening in Israel.
Any plans on coming back here anytime soon?
You know what? I am. I'm coming back in June. Okay. I have a family event, and I'm going to try to book a show around it. And I can't get a gauge. Are there comedy shows happening in Israel now? I'm asking you.
Well, yeah, comedians went to perform in front of soldiers, and they do have stage shows as well, yeah.
I would do that. I don't know if they know I don't know if they know English that well, but when we had those shows in Israel, they were half Israelis, half Anglo. And so the Israelis that came to the show knew that it was going to be in English. I'd hate to be in front of the soldiers doing my act in English, and they're like, "Ma הביאו את זה, מה was המחים שלי?" You know, you want... לא מספיק שאני צריך להיכנס לגז, אני גם צריך לשמוע את האנגלית שלו. So, you know, it's, I would do anything for these soldiers. But yes, I will be coming to Israel. And if there's an opportunity to perform for soldiers, I would do it.
Okay. Sounds great. Looking forward to seeing you here. Modi Rosenfeld, thank you so much for this conversation.
Thank you very much. And God willing, this will be over soon with a little bit of ruach Moshiach, a little bit of Moshiach energy. This could end.
Thank you so much, Modi.
Thank you.